Okay, so Apocalypse Town. Let's play a game. Who wants to play a game?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's play a game. So, I think the first thing we gotta do is history with our good angel, because he's a bit new to some of you. I think everyone. Um, wow, I do not like the new weird overlays for like the way they've changed the camera stuff.
Yeah, you can't disable the camera on there anymore. There's a little options button thing down at the bottom, but if you click on it, nothing happens.
Really?
No, it doesn't. That's not an option. It's you can move the cams from others. If you want to, oops, not like this. I know, fucked it all. But you can still turn off the camera. But you have to go to options.
Yeah.
Oh.
I just find
If you want to turn it off, but I don't know.
It's just
So I
annoying.
wanted to try.
It's just annoying for me trying to record it because they tend to end up in weird random places, or I accidentally move them just slightly and then I have to refiddle with them to get them back in the right place. So it's a bit of a pain in the... But that's for a very specific, non-related to Roll20 way. That's a very Matthew problem. Right, but yeah, we need to do history with our angel. So I think just read out your questions, and if one of them in particular like calls to the angel, then he can answer that one. And obviously, Scalper, you can read out your questions and as normal, and we'll just go with it that way. So Doomwolf, read out your questions and let's see if any of them work for our good angel.
Yeah, so Scalpel, did you once left me bleeding, and did you do nothing for me?
No.
Did you fought shoulder to shoulder with me, or are you the prettiest and smartest of everyone? Like, which one?
Maybe it's the second one. I once fought shoulder to shoulder with you.
Yeah.
Cool. And what did you fight shoulder to shoulder against? Was it racism and adversity, or was it crazy people in the woods?
Scalp is also from the base, right?
Yes, Scalp is an old school baser. He's been there since he was very young, since birth maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically...
not since birth, but early childhood.
Yeah. You think you might have defended the base together? Because I know...
Give me something like that, or I ask Scalp to come with me, because I did not trust it on my own that I may got injured somewhere.
Yeah.
So I asked him to come with me.
Oh. Oh, wait a sec.
I don't want to make up another group or clan, because I already have 3 of them or something. So.
Everyone already wants to kill you, so yeah. I'm always trying to make more people who want to kill the gunlugger, because eventually I'll make up enough NPCs that if they all gang up, they have a chance.
So not sure.
No.
Maybe if he's already wounded at the starting of the fight.
Yeah.
Like when the... Yeah.
Okay, so it's a large gang with 4 armor because they're all in mech suits and they have plasma weapons. Fuck this shit.
And
Still not enough.
Weapons.
Still not
enough. James Reynolds, what questions do you have that might work for the Scalpel? The Scalpel, the angel.
For angel, yeah. I think he...
Ah, there they are. Let me see, I can't remember what my questions are.
It's alright.
Just go through all of them, or just one
Yeah,
set
go
would
through
I
all
think
of
might fit?
Well, yeah, if there's one in particular you think might fit, you could ask that one.
Which one of you has got me out of some serious shit? Which one of you has been with me for days on the road? And which one of you have I caught sometimes staring out at the horizon?
Oh.
I could
All
see...
3 are cool.
All three could work. I could see it being you got him out of some serious shit, because you're the guy people go to when they get shot. But he could have also travelled with you. I think Scalpel travels a bit. And Scalpel might also stare at the horizon. They all kind of work.
Yeah. I think the first one is cool, because I usually help people get out of shit.
Yeah. What shit did you get him out of? Like, was it literal or metaphorical?
Hopefully metaphorical.
No. Like some random mad people from the woods just threw shit at you and
a crippling case of pink eye.
No. I think you had a severe car accident, or have been like seriously injured in a vehicle fight, vehicle combat. So you've been brought to me, and I just help you, like I do.
Is it a persistent thing? Do you still have to help him from time to time with whatever injury he took?
No, I don't think so.
No, so you just patched him up and set him back on the road. Nice. So, cool. You take whatever hex you get from that. And Scalpel, what questions do you have?
Okay. Which one of you do I figure is doomed to self-destruction?
I mean, it could be either of them, but there's a really strong contender.
I just read all three and you tell me which one you prefer. So, which one of you put a hand in when it mattered and helped me save a life? And the third one is, which one of you has been beside me all along and has seen everything I've seen?
So, for me, it is the first one or the second one. Like, both can be applied to me.
Yeah.
Not the third one, I guess. Yeah, no.
No, you're not a baser. So...
I mean, he's
well,
He's a child of the base, but he wanders, you know.
Ah, okay.
I'm from the base, but most of the time I'm out of the base hunting, seeking out stuff. So I'm not a lot in the base itself.
Okay.
But it's where you can
I guess for me,
back to.
I don't know, I'm doomed now from this session on, or like from last session because I got that skill.
You're just always doomed.
I'm Doomwolf, so I'm doomed.
Yeah, I think it makes sense that Doomwolf is doomed to self-destruction.
Yeah.
And
it can also be metaphoric.
Okay. So it's a -2 with you?
Oh, really? Wow.
Luckily, I got a +2 with you, so...
I don't care about hex, like, or helping people, because I get professional compassion, which allows me to roll +sharp instead of hex while helping.
That's useful. James, I think you put the hex on your own sheet from your questions. They changed.
Oh, I thought it was the other way around.
It was in number 1, but I'm pretty sure they changed it for this one.
Yeah, you put on your own sheet.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. They changed it for second edition because in first edition people kept like forgetting to write it down or got confused. So they fixed that.
So James, which one do you prefer? Did you help me save a life, or have you seen? Have you been with me all along and I've seen everything I've seen?
Probably the first one.
Okay.
Because Leviathan could probably help transport someone to safety.
Yeah. I was thinking about you. Yeah, you help. You help someone escape the battlefield, like a wounded person. How to say this? We put him in your vehicle, and you just drove off the battlefield.
You played ambulance driver. You were played paramedic.
That is a scary ambulance.
Yeah. I mean, the Leviathan, you just put everything into armor and massive, if I remember right.
Yeah, so it's armor 3, massive 4.
Which I think makes it like I mean, it must be like a 12-wheeler lorry in size. Like,
Yeah, it's gigantic. That's why it's called Leviathan.
yeah, it probably started off sometime, I imagine, as like a huge like cargo container like truck, like a big truck, but like you've added so much armor onto it, and you've probably stuck a second truck on the back. And it's unrecognizable now. Probably the best picture to have is the battle wagon from what's it called, from Mad Max Fury Road. Furiosa's big, like,
Yeah.
only maybe even a little bigger. Nice. Cool. So yeah, we can get. Oh, we gotta do highlighting.
Highlights. Yeah.
We're gonna do upkeep for your characters because it's been a little time, so you've had to live. So yeah, we'll do highlighting first. So Doomwolf, who do you have the highest hex with?
With Scalpel.
Scalpel. All right. Ask Scalpel. Scalpel, what would you like to highlight on Doomwolf?
I kind of want Doomwolf to be weird.
Doomwolf to be weird? I like
Yeah.
it when Doomwolf's weird too. Now, I kind of, part of me wants to like be like, Doomwolf, highlight your hot. But that part of me is an asshole, so I'll say, Doomwolf, highlight your hard.
I have to roll a lot more.
Doomwolf, highlight your hard. So you
Sorry?
are weird and hard.
Hard?
Weird
or
and hard. Hard.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Just keep making me say hard. I love it. Weird and hard. Scalpel, who has the highest hex with you?
James.
James Reynolds.
So James, what? You're muted.
You're muted.
You're muted.
You're muted.
James.
Okay, there we go. I wasn't intending for this to be a pun, but I want Scalpel to be sharp.
Okay, cool. Oh, yeah, good pun.
I want a weird sharp Scalpel.
Cool. That's my best.
And James Reynolds, who has the highest hex with you?
Doomwolf.
Doomwolf.
I want you to be cool.
Cool. Okay, so I think that you should be cool. I could just like have you also highlight weird, and then we just got like a full weird party.
Full weird party.
It's tempting. Just know how those get. I think actually I'm going to need. I want James Reynolds to be hot. I want like this group needs a talker, and I think it's going to be James Reynolds from this Leviathan. All right, cool. So cool and hot. Nice. And finally, beginning of the session, we have to decide how you've been living. For all of you, it's been about a month-ish since the last time we saw you, so it makes sense that you've had to expend barter to survive. So either expend 1 barter and you're getting by, you're doing okay, or 2 barter, you're living like a king. And if you don't want to expend barter, you can either sort of say who's been looking after you, if an NPC's been looking after you, or we can make up an NPC who has been. They'll look after you, but with strings attached. Or we can decide what bad shit's happening to you because you are hungry, starving, or I'll take your shit away, basically. I mean, you might have also been working a job. So yeah, how have you been getting by?
I don't know where Doomwolf went after I left the grotto. So I guess I just spent 1 barter to just live like normally.
You've just been in the woods, like with a campfire.
Yeah, I bought the minimal stuff at some random place.
Yeah,
5.
absolutely. Okay, cool. Scalpel, how's Scalpel been living?
1 barter only, because Scalpel is really I I don't know how. He likes to save money because
frugal.
Yeah,
frugal's a good word. That's our word of the day. Frugal.
He's frugal.
Cool. And how's James Reynolds been living?
Probably one barter.
1 bar. Okay. So a very frugal party. Cool. So everyone expend 1 barter to get by. And yeah, we can get into the game itself, the game proper. So, paperwork done. So it's been a little while since all of you played. The world has now definitely entered the cold darkness of winter proper. It's no longer, fall. We're out of that. Everything, what has fallen will fall. And the world has become a dark, cold, very cold place. The valleys that you live in, the hills that make up the walls of the valley, are now constantly peppered with snow. And you know that up there it's thick, heavy snow. You're kind of out of that most days. Some days the snow falls either in slush, kind of covering the ground, which you have to kick your way through, or in actual lying snow, which causes all kinds of its own problems. Every morning, though, even without snow, you wake up with heavy frost on the ground, iced water, which you have to crunch your way through, and it's just deathly cold all the time. Mist is also a pretty prevalent thing. Every morning there's heavy walls of mist that surround everything, and it doesn't clear until close to midday. So yeah, it's a hard time to live, and Doomwolf, if you've been living out in the woods for a time, you're becoming more aware that you're going to have to move back to the base at some stage, or somewhere warm, because you're struggling. You're never entirely sure how. No one ever knows why the crazies don't just all die off at winter, like all these people who just run around the woods, but they always seem to manage to keep going. They just adjust their crazy to become more obsessed with fire and warmth. Scalpel, you've already had to treat several people for hyperthermia, various like bad coughs and moist like lung problems, just the kind of problems that come with cold. And a few of the older people have actually passed away already in the cold. They're having to run the generator a lot, trying to keep the place warm. And James Reynolds is doing a pretty roaring business. The Leviathan is one of the only vehicles that can really hazard these very difficult conditions. Most people have grounded their transports between towns. Only the Leviathan can really go anywhere, which is giving you kind of a premium to work, which is always nice. But it's also making things more dangerous as well, because mist makes great ambush situations, and the cold just plays havoc on your car. Well, I say car, your horrific monster of death and metal. So yeah, that's kind of the situation everyone finds themselves in. We probably see everyone, I think, is at the base. Reynolds, you've just dropped off a shipment of food from the junk farm. Some part of some great trade they're doing. So your Leviathan has like cracked and crunched its way through the ice into the base. The gateman Balls didn't give you too much of a hard time. He's used to seeing the Leviathan come by. And Doomwolf, you've staggered in out of the cold, deciding to find some shelter for a time. And Scalpel, you live here, so you don't need an excuse. Where would everyone be? What would everyone want to do when they're in town? Like, what's something that would be on people's minds?
The first thing Doomwolf probably does is go to his house, see if everything's still intact. But
oh, does Doomwolf actually have like a house inside the base?
yeah, I guess he still lives in his parents' house, which died. So
All
or he
right.
sold it. But I was maybe it was taken over by someone else in this time. But
I, what you've definitely had people try and squat in your house before. Like this is the apocalypse. Like if a building is empty, people just move into it. What happened when you found squatters? Like, were they brutally slaughtered and put on the front porch, or?
Duo will probably first ask them kindly to leave.
Okay.
But if they don't, yeah, I will drag them out on the streets.
All right. So yeah, we see Doomwolf. You're heading towards your house. You clank up the stairs. It's an old kind of everything's built out of an old naval base, but this is actually was a home once upon a time. Like an on-site living accommodations, probably for some officer and his family. It was one of the nicer places in the base, and it's where your family stayed. And you crank up the door and handle the door latch and push it open, and are greeted by and all the windows are kind of boarded up and shuttered, because it's normally deserted, so it's just a safe way to keep it. You open the door, and inside you can see a group of free men around this kind of like a big metal copper basin with different tubes going into it, with another copper basin above it, and it's got heat coming from it. They're heating it, and the three guys are just hanging around it, chatting when you enter. You recognize them. They're foresters. They're one of the bigger families in the town. I think you see. I have so many random sheets of paper now. I really need to start organizing them. You see, Jeb, Joseph, and Jojo. Jeb, Joseph, and Jojo Forrester. And they see you enter, and they kind of share a sort of a look, hey there, Doomwolf. And it's Jojo speaking. We weren't expecting to see you back. Kind of thought you were gone for winter.
I'm back. So, didn't have enough space in your own house?
Oh well, you know how Ma is. She don't like the smell of cooking in her own home. So we just thought we'd set up here. You got plenty of space. It's some of the only unused space in the base, and the foresters needed it. Sure, you understand, don't you? Don't you, Mr. Wolf?
Just out of character, do I really know this family being a influence family in the base?
Yeah. I described in the last game I did. I don't know. Are you from a big town, Eric, or a city?
I probably were in the base from very young age. So.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm actually talking to Eric here. Are you from quite a big?
Oh, me.
A big town or a smaller town or?
I lived mostly in a smaller town.
Yeah.
I went to school in a large town, so.
Was there a family name in your town that just kind of said, "Don't fuck with them"?
Yeah, there's one name
Yeah, that one family who's always been there, and they all live in the town. They're a really close knit, massive family. And if you mess with one of them, 6 of their brothers will show up and beat the crap out of you. Yeah. That's the Foresters. The Foresters are a big family of about 30 guys. They're quite an influential group in the base, only because no one wants to get in a disagreement with such a big family. They also make most of the alcohol that people drink here. They make the moonshine. And some people rumor they make some other stuff as well, but it's mostly moonshine that they seem to work in.
Okay. So, What was the last question you said to me? I don't remember.
You don't mind us working in here? I mean, you hardly use the place, and it's a shame to let good space go to waste.
That's true, but you could have asked me before you got in here.
I mean,
That it's still my house.
And they kind of look to each other. I mean, like you were in the woods, like you've been gone a week or so, maybe more, and you don't use the place much when you came back. We thought we'd be done and gone by the time you came back. That's all. Didn't want to bother you.
That's true. Maybe we can make an arrangement. Although this is still my house, I wouldn't like to get strange in here. What do you think about if we make an agreement about you guys using my house when I'm gone, and you protect it from some weirder people? And I get something in return for that.
Sounds like you're trying to manipulate
roll for something.
Yeah, roll your favorite stat.
How Dumo coming?
So that's hard, right?
Yeah, roll.
Manipulating.
Like I said, your favorite stat.
Let's see. It's not a 0.
I mean, like, even if you'd had a alright score in that, you probably still wouldn't have done well. You got a 5. So they're like looking to each other, and they're like, well, I just gotta make a hard one. Let's have a look at what happens when you fail a manipulate roll. Good. Let the manipulation flow.
Well, you know what's going to happen.
I don't know. Maybe. For either NPCs or prepare for the worst. Alright. So, yeah, they're like, you know what, that's fine. That's fine. That seems fair to me. We will make sure that the house stays safe while you're away. And I'll tell you what, we'll give you a bottle of the moonshine when everything's said and done. How does that sound? It like knocks the side of the cistern and like splutters and like shakes a little bit. Like, it's like we'll make sure you get a bottle of moonshine, and we'll make sure nothing happens to your house.
Sounds fine to me. Let me see. So how large is my house? I assumed that there were 4 people living there before, but
not large. Like it was 4 people living there, but only out of like apocalypse necessity. It was probably like 1 bedroom, a kitchen, living room, and a bathroom. Like so, it's more like an apartment, really. But it's quite nicely set out. Like you have 3 rooms and a hallway, which is a lot more than most people have. You kind of got in before the base really started to fill up and thrive. So yeah, does Doomwolf like go off to the bedroom and?
Yes, I just don't disturb me now, and I go off to the bedroom.
Yeah, and you find the bedrooms. I think maybe like the bedroom door is actually also locked. Like you have a second lock there, and they've not made any attempt to like bust it or force it, so it's like it's as you left it.
Okay, good.
And you like slump down all your guns and stuff. What do we see Doomwolf doing in this like moment alone?
Yeah, so I put down my backpack. Probably like a small desk. It's all worn out, but there's like still maybe I don't know. One of my boards is like a picture of my family, so my father, mother, and my older brother. And I think I will just lay down urea there and basically get it out, clean all the parts, put it back together. Probably that takes an hour or something, fully concentrating on that.
Yeah. Cool. So we just see you like lovingly repairing your gun and maintaining
sometimes being annoyed by the people.
Yeah, you can hear them like laughing and like carrying on in the other room, and occasionally like yeehaws, you know.
Yeah.
James Reynolds. Where would we find the James Reynolds?
The first thing he'd probably do, getting into town is, you said he was delivering stuff there right now, right?
I think
or would this be after he's delivered it?
I think you've delivered it, and you're in a little state between jobs.
Okay, he'd be doing any maintenance that Leviathan needs before anything else.
Cool. And, like, how much maintenance does the Leviathan need? Like, is it kind of like the Millennium Falcon, where it's just always falling apart? Or is it pretty, like, is it kind of like the Firefly, where, the Serenity, where, like, just the plates will fly off and you have to go shove new bits in?
Yes, that, I'd say, like, the stuff that he would need to do is work on the engine, or, because, you know, the thing is massive, so it has a lot of stress on it.
Yeah. It's probably got 2 engines for some reason. Like, it has the original engine.
That sounds right.
And then you had to put a second engine in there as well to make it actually work. Yeah, so you're working on the 2 engines in there. When you hear a cough from behind you, like a polite, like...
Turn around to see who it is.
Cool. It's Rothball and Scalpel. Rothball came and fetched you earlier today from your infirmary.
Yeah.
Rothball is an older guy. He's kind of an advisor in the town. Like, he's old enough and grumpy enough that people just have to accept that he has some sort of weird authority. And yeah, Rothball's standing here, and he's an older guy, like I said. He's got white hair, and he's always dressed in a robe, although he's probably wearing 2 robes now against the bitter cold. And when I say robe, I think like he's done it up, but it's definitely like a dressing gown or bathrobe. But he's trying to wear it like it's some sort of thing of office, like regal. He has a bathrobe, and underneath it he has a kimono on. And then, yeah, that's what he's got on. And he's like, there he is. There is the James Reynolds. Well, it's good to see you. And he comes over and holds out like a bony hand.
He'll shake this hand.
Good. Shakes your hand and then takes it away and like looks at the grease that's on his hand now. He's like, yes, very good. And he reaches out and just smears it on a guard that he brought with him. He brought, yeah, just one of the town's guards with him. You can't really tell who he is because he's wearing this big, he's wearing like a paintball mask, as well as his normal armor. He just wipes the grease on his like chest. He's like, yes, it's good to see. How has your time been in the blessed wastes? How are things out there?
It's cold.
Yes, it is winter. That happens. How are the inhabitants of the waste? Are they gentrifying? Are they becoming more calm?
I don't know what. I don't know that much about the inhabitants of the waste that much.
Yeah, to give you, the inhabitants of the waste are crazy fuckers who normally you just see like as they run at your car and throw themselves in front of it, saying some weird reason, and then you have to run them over. Or they're the people you throw like fire axes at the side of the Leviathan as you go by. But Rothschilds, they're like, yes, are they gentrifying? Are they finding themselves?
I don't know how to answer that. I would guess not. So, no, they're pretty much the same, just cold. They don't know that much.
One day soon, you will see. They are. We see. I know that most of you see them as wretched things. Scalpel here fears them and their madness, but their madness is a blessing, for they see the truth of the world that we do not. But anyway, I should not talk philosophy while we have work to do. The Major has requested a word with you and Scalpel this evening. Well, not quite this evening. In an hour or so, if you could meet him at the base, at the main officers' mess.
I suppose I could go do that.
Yes, I assure you there's work involved in it. Pays well, and it is of great importance to our town. He turns and looks at Scalpel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he turns and looks at Scalpel, and he's like, the work is for you as well. You may have to leave the base for a time coming up, but it is for the health of the community as a whole. We trust you. That's why we're sending you.
Right. I'm getting a bit tired of curing colds.
Can you cure the cold? That would be a great advancement.
I'm trying to.
Good. He looks excited. Like, I look forward to seeing your cure for the common cold. And he turns and he's like, so yes, give it an hour or two and then head to the base proper, and the Major will see you then. And he leaves Scalpel and Reynolds behind, his faceless guard following in behind him.
Okay.
Cool. Doomwolf, the conversation in your house dies all of a sudden. Like, they were kind of like mid laughter, and then they all just like it just stops.
I'll probably stand up and hand on the trigger of the shotgun already. Turn around and go to the door and carefully open it to see what's going on. Why they stop so suddenly?
Cool. So you can hear like a couple of new like heavy footfalls, and somebody kind of coming towards your door. And then, do you keep it open a crack, or do you?
I'll probably take a step back.
You take a step back. All right.
Yeah.
So there's a brief pause. You hear like the heavy like front of feet, and then a knock on your door. Doomwolf.
Do you recognize the voice, or?
Yeah, it's the Major.
Come in.
So he opens the door. The Major is this
I'll.
tall, sort of
I also.
imposing.
Sorry.
Sorry, yeah,
Go ahead.
You go.
I wanted to say I also get my hand off the trigger of the shotgun, like when I know.
You don't just have it point at his face when he comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's this tall, probably like 6'4", guy wearing like most of the old like military clothes has been like customized over the year with like leather straps and leather shoulder pads to keep it together, but he has like an actual full military fatigues, like officers' fatigues, still in good condition. And he's got like a very like modern looking, like we would kind of see it as like one of these modern special ops style assault rifles with him. And he comes in and he's got two guards behind him who kind of go to follow, but he puts a hand up, goes, "No need." And they stop, and then he salutes them and says, "Close the door." So they close the door, clicks shut. Major turns, looks at you, and then like he's got a very like serious like face. You can tell it's always very like tense and worn. He breaks in. I say breaks. He smiles like a genuine smile, which looks completely unnatural on his face. And he comes forwards and how tall is Doomwolf?
Like normal size, 180.
180
meters, something
cool.
like that.
So he's a bit taller than you. So he comes over and like puts his hands on your shoulders and like grin, and he's smiling. He's like, "It's good to see you, brother. It's been a while. I was worried you might actually stay out all winter this year."
No, I decided to come back. It was too cold out there.
Yes, it's always the cold that drives you back here. It's cold here too. We're running out of firewood. Well, we've got some firewood left, but we're almost out of oil. It's a fucking mess. And he goes over to kind of your side table and he puts down his gun and he then is there like a seat he can sort of sit on, like a desk?
Yeah, probably. Like, there's maybe one chair in front of the desk. I offer the chair to him. And I will sit down on the bed.
Yeah, he takes the chair and he takes out his handgun. He's got probably got like a Desert Eagle or something really status symbol-y. And he begins stripping it, like taking it apart, like takes the chamber out, takes the magazine out, and begins to clean it as he's talking to you. And he goes, "I need you to do a job for me."
Okay, tell me.
You've been to Brink recently, I understand. You killed Bill, that prick mayor of theirs.
That's right. Yes, I did.
Good. He was always an ass. I'm going to need you to go to Brink with James and Scalpel. The oil freighter's coming in. We've ordered 16 barrels of oil from them. We need it to run the generators throughout winter. Without it, I'm pretty sure the town's going to freeze. And then the people will start panicking. Then they'll turn on us, and we can't have that. And he clicks he's already cleaned his gun and put it back together, and he clicks it, puts the magazine back in, and then begins taking it apart again.
Yeah. I say I don't know if the people in Brinks like me that much anymore, or at least some of them.
They might not like you, but they know how dangerous you are. It will hopefully keep them from trying anything. Also, we don't know who's in charge there anymore. I'm hoping Scalpel and James Reynolds won't need force, but if they do, I'd like someone there who I can trust. Anyway, it's not the people of Brink I care about so much. We just need to get our oil from the barge. And it's Brink they'll be stopping at.
Well, it will at least not be Bob who's in charge there right now. And
yes, I understand it's hard to rule with a bullet through your brain.
But yes, I will go with them. Is there anything I need to know before we go there? So there were 16 barrels, right?
Yes, 16 barrels of refined oil that will run the generator. At least get us through winter. Just. You'll also want to talk to, let's see, normally our contact, the guy we talk to when he comes, the guy we place the orders with, is, let's find a good name for our contact. Does anyone have any suggestions? Ooh. Ray? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ray's our contact. He's a slimy piece of shit, but he's the one we talk to. If you can't get Ray, the captain's Captain Weiser. At least it was last time they came through. I need you to go with James Reynolds and Scalpel, get them there safely, and bring me that oil.
So, are there any arrangements where I will meet them? When?
Should be at Brink in the next couple of days. They kind of show up when they want. They expect people to wait for them.
Oh, okay.
And
when and where?
So,
and when
it's hard to argue.
Sorry. When and where do I meet Scalpel and James?
They should be waiting at the base right now. And he's put his gun back together, checks the magazine, begins taking it apart again, and cleaning it again. I just wanted to talk to you first. It's good to see you again, is all. So I'd see you personally. Why are there foresters in your house?
They, as you know, sometimes people like to get into my house, break in. They were sitting here and they told me that they were here because I was not here for a long time. And it actually made a lot of sense, so I made an agreement with them to make sure that my house is safe. I don't know if they are the best people to do that, but I will see in the future.
Nods his head. It's like, well, it's up to you. It is hard to keep a house empty. I've had to argue a few times with people over the years to explain why they can't move their families in here. Anyway, shall we go see Scalpel and James?
Yes, let's do that.
Okay. Puts his gun back together, clicks it, checks the safety, checks the magazine. You can see he's almost about to start taking it apart again, like he's not entirely satisfied with it. But he then like just grunts and gets up and heads towards the door, picking up his rifle on the way. And his men like fall in behind him.
Yeah, so Doomwolf also gets all his stuff, spec bag, make sure everything is close and nothing falls out or something. Does the bedroom door, he locks the bedroom door again.
Yep.
Which one of the three brothers, or are they brothers, I don't know, which one of them looks the least drunk?
Joseph. Joseph's the older brother, he looks the least drunk.
Okay.
Relatively,
also,
compared to the others.
Yeah, so is there also like still closed bottles somewhere which are making?
Yeah. I mean, like they're in the middle of making this still. It'll take a few more days, but they've got some of their own bottles with them, and one of them's like still sealed with wax.
Okay, so I'd say Joseph. Joseph, make sure that no one goes into this room, and I point to the bedroom. And I will take this one as payment for the first rent, and that's one of the bottles.
All right.
Did they do something?
That seems fair.
Also, try not to break anything.
We will do our best, Mr. Wolf. Don't you worry. And he gives you the thumbs up, like, we are going to take good care of your house.
Come back, it's all explode.
Cool.
One bottle of moonshine.
One bottle of moonshine. What more could you want from life? Yeah. So from there, I think we cut Scalpel and James Reynolds. The Major and Doomwolf have come in, and yeah, they've outlined what they need. They need you to go to Brink, get 16 barrels of oil, of refined oil from them, and bring it back so the town doesn't freeze to death. And it makes sense. They want like Scalpel to go along because he's kind of a representative of the town in a lot of ways. As well as that, he's just, probably one of the more competent people here. Doomwolf for the muscle, and James Reynolds has literally the only vehicle that could transport all that. Like, you've seen the Major's garage. It's a piece of shit. Like, all the vehicles would not make the long trip. Does anybody have any questions for the Major as he sits there taking his gun apart and putting it back together?
Do you think we'll have some trouble on the road? Like, did you hear some particular mad movements? Or
mad movement, I like that. We don't know what the state in Brink itself is, since Doomwolf took out their mayor. We don't know if the people there took over or somebody else has moved in. So we can't say if it's safe there or not. As for mad movements, it's actually pretty quiet this time of year because they're cold. Makes them a little slower. They tend to huddle up in caves, eating each other and huddling for warmth or whatever the fuck crazy people do. I would be careful of the Sasquatch. Those fucking freaks up in the hills with their snowmobiles love it when the snow's out. They can range further.
Okay.
And you'll have to cross kind of near to their territory, so I'd be careful of them. Any other questions? Good. You are
No.
You are a good group. You just do what you're told. I like it. None of these crazy faceless trying to murder my people, or weird childlike people who keep like eating other people. Just people doing work. I like it. All right. Go whenever you're ready, but the sooner the oil gets back, the sooner I can put the generators on properly, and the sooner people get proper heat, and the sooner you get paid.
Cool.
Okay, he nods. And I guess, yeah, we could move on where you're ready to go. So,